Wish popping. All right, so this is my reaction to Mel Kiper's 2022 mock draft. It's 2 rounds, all 64 picks. Even added a trade in there. So yeah, leave a like and don't forget to comment. Thank you. And we're gonna start right here with the Jaguars of the first pick, which lately there has been some controversy on who they're gonna select. And in his mock draft, the first pick is Aiden Hutchinson, defensive end from Michigan. Yeah, exactly. I completely agree with him. There's no need to overthink anything. Pretty obvious. He single-handedly destroyed Nicholas Petit-Frere, made CJ Stroud's, progressions a nightmare just in that game by himself alone. Yeah. I mean that makes the most sense. I even seen some PFF analysts say that he's better than the Bosa brothers. That's not true. However, he can be up to that level eventually. And at number 2, he has the Detroit Lions selecting Ahmad Gardner. I don't get this one. Can I interest you in a 6'3" corner with long arms? Yeah, we know that, but is he really worth the second pick? It says they want Aiden Hutchinson, so why wouldn't they want Travon Walker or Kayvon Thibodeaux? The Lions have actually said they do not like Thibodeaux. They've came out and just straight up said that. So that's interesting. You pretty much gave up on Jeff Okudah at that point. But do you think a cornerback is what you need as a cornerstone of your organization when you need help everywhere? That makes no sense. Literally none. You must know something I don't. With the number 3, Travon Walker from Georgia. And I completely agree with him. No one really knows the Texans, not only their competence, but also just what their plan is moving forward. The same situation as the Lions, where they just need help everywhere, So I guess you can't really go wrong if you need help everywhere. But Travon Walker, an absolute athletic specimen. I think you get him around the NFL, he could be a Jadeveon Clowney type. That's 6 to 10 sacks a year. Very productive, in all honesty. Some people can consider Clowney a bust, but he is not a bust. He has done his job well, and that's really all you ask. Is consistent and dependable, and that's exactly what Clowney has been. And I think Travon Walker's ceiling is a Clowney-esque type finished product. And at number 4, the New York Jets select Kayvon Thibodeaux. This I believe this. And then he also says it's also not out of the question they take a receiver here. I do kind of believe that if they really before their 10th pick have some type of knowledge that one of the receivers they want are going to be taken. But I feel investing in the edge rusher here at 4 is kind of the most makes the most sense. You have Carl Lawson coming off an Achilles tear. He needs help. JFM, he's a good edge guy, but he needs to be rotated into the interior every now and then. Can't have him on the edge all 3 downs. So this is a decent pick. I like this pick for the Jets. The New York Giants, Ike Ekwonu from NC State, probably one of the most versatile linemen in this draft. He's definitely gonna play tackle in the NFL. You're not gonna put this guy at guard, but in an emergency situation, or maybe for a game or 2 you need a guy to play guard, Icky could do that. He says he has Ekwonu slightly over Evan Neal. I don't know about all that. However, just due to his versatility alone in general is gonna make him more appealing to GMs who know that injuries play a big part throughout the season. And I feel like Icky to the Giants makes the most sense. But I wouldn't put it behind them to choose Neal. over it quick, icky. And at number 6, he has Malik Willis to the Panthers. I used to mock Malik Willis to the Panthers every single mock draft I did. There's noise around them getting Baker Mayfield that Robbie Anderson kind of shut down. And yes, one of your receivers can shut down that trade as a GM because QB to wide receiver chemistry is everything. Ruley is getting really desperate. Like I said, he's entering the season on the hot seat. Yep, he explains that he needs some hope. If Ruley can generate some hope from the franchise, from either the GM or the owner or the fan base, he can buy himself from some more years to develop a rookie quarterback. Excuse me. But I think Malik Willis to the Lions makes the most sense here. I just don't see them picking a cornerback. Like if at 2, if they're gonna deviate, right, from a pass rusher, Travon Walker or Kayvon Thibodeau, they might. I think you have to go either quarterback or receiver there. I cannot see you going cornerback at 2. And I get Sauce is a generational corner, same as Stingley, but I just don't. It makes no sense. All right, and at number 7, the New York Giants select Jermaine Johnson. I think that's a perfect pick, perfect value. Jermaine Johnson has the capability to be the best pass rusher in this draft class, and you understand that when I say this, I mean that. Real quick, natural speed. At the Senior Bowl, tackles couldn't even get their hands on him unless he wanted to. What I mean by that is when he decided to show the scouts that he has speed to power too. So he is a Kayvon Thibodeau-esque guy that's flying under the radar, that if it wasn't for the Senior Bowl, people wouldn't have really been able to put in perspective how great he was. He entered the draft process at the end of the year as like an early 2nd round pick, and now we're talking about him going 7 to the Giants. And again, I think that's a perfect pick, perfect area for him. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go at 3 or 4. I think he's worth that. That's just me. I don't know if I'm just on the wrong train, but I'm on the Jermaine train. I'm ready to ride with it. The Atlanta Falcons select Garrett Wilson. I think this one is the easiest pick of them all. I mean, I could see them going Drake London, but Garrett Wilson is probably going to be your best bet to be a number 1 receiver. Drake London can be a number 1 receiver. However, he's not going to be that guy that you're going to say, hey, run this 10-yard out and let's get this first down. That's not what Drake London's going to do. However, you can call on Garrett Wilson to do exactly that. So yeah, it makes the most sense. Their number 1 receiver right now is Alamade Zaccheaus. So I don't even know if I said that right. Probably didn't. But the point is, it makes the most sense. And like you said, tracking the edge rushers. Everyone in this draft is going to be tracking the edge rushers, whether it's worth it to them or not. So yeah, that makes the most sense. And then the Seattle Seahawks at 9 select Evan Neal from Alabama. Look, Evan Neal sliding the 9 to me is crazy, personally. To me, he is easily the most surefire prospect to hop into the league and be successful. I think people are kind of over-analyzing linemen. I think just because in general, they see him get beat on pass rush, on certain pass rush moves. You know what I mean? Not being as quick to the second level, run blocking. But you gotta understand that he's not a finished product. And he was 20 pounds heavier throughout the season with Alabama as he was coming into the combine. I'm almost willing to bet he was a top prospect at Alabama while out of shape. We haven't even yet to scratch his potential as a tackle. I really like Evan Neal. However, 9 to me is just him. To me, 9 is him sliding, and it is what it is. But I wouldn't put it past them. Seahawks picking Evan Neal here, especially if he's available. That's a steal. And like you said, veteran left tackle Dwayne Brown not signed. It's obvious they might be looking for a lineman with their 9th pick. And then it has the New York Jets selecting Drake London. Look, if the Jets get, I said we because I'm a Jets fan. But if the Jets get Kayvon Thibodeau and Drake London, I mean, that is best case scenario. Let's go. Like, however, I don't really like London as a developing guy. And what I mean by that is whatever he is his rookie year, I don't feel like it's going to be a ceiling. However, I feel like it's going to be close to it. He's a 6'4" athletic specimen who has fluid hips at that height, which you can kind of compare to like AJ Green. But AJ Green wasn't even as fluid as him. So he's like a taller DJ Chark type prospect. However, he's a little bit more solidly built. But DJ Chark had the same ankle injury that Drake London suffered. These tall receivers, they got to protect their ankles and their knees. If he can stay healthy, I would imagine this would be a great pick for the Jets. At number 11, the Washington Commanders select Kyle Hamilton. Look, people had Kyle Hamilton mocked to the top 5 here. And now they have him sliding to 11. I just don't see. I understand the Commanders lost one of their safeties this offseason. I just don't see, if you're the Commanders and you have all these receivers on the board. You have linemen on the board. You have even some edge rushers on the board. And you select a safety, a zone safety at that. And a box safety at that. Look, I'm a huge Kyle Hamilton fan. He's going to thrive no matter where he goes. He's just a good player. I just don't think. He says he could play multiple positions from center field to the box linebacker. He's proved over and over he cannot play center field. He cannot play free safety, especially in man concepts. And if you do have him at free safety, you're kind of just saying, hey, this is cover 1 man or this is cover 3. You're narrowing it down for the defense. He's definitely just a box linebacker sub package. He's gonna drop back in zone. He would make plays for the Washington defense, but I like Stingley here for the Commanders. I don't really like Kyle Hamilton here. However, doesn't really make a difference. I would definitely have these picks alternated here. And then you have Derek Stingley, who had a great pro day, honestly. Honestly, there was a lot of talk of him even sliding to like the 20s. That's not happening. He had a great pro day. He's completely healthy. And I think he's ready to play for millions of dollars. I feel like that's what held him back the last year. All his friends, Jamar, Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson, all left LSU to make millions of dollars while he was stuck there. Still had to play another year, knowing they were a bad team. And that led to kind of the effort concerns. Can he return to form? I know he will. To me, it's not a question. Yeah, if Stingley goes to Minnesota, that's great. Stingley and Justin Jefferson are now reunited in practice. I'd love to see those tapes. All right. And the Houston Texans, after trading Deshaun Watson to the Cleveland Browns, acquired the 13th pick from the Cleveland Browns. They select Charles Cross. Charles Cross is interesting. He is a great pass protector. Not really known for going downhill and taking the second level of the defense out. So I'm not too sure the Texans even take him here. Honestly, I mean, with their first pick, they acquired Travon Walker. They got their edge rusher. Right? And you have guys like McDuffie. You have guys like Olave. You have guys like a Jordan Davis. Maybe you want to build at your core. I don't see the overall necessity to go for a tackle like Charles Cross, but Mel Kiper thinks Charles Cross will go to the Texans. And again, we don't know the plans for the Texans. We don't know their exact like goal here. The only thing they've really said is that they're going to give David Mills the next season to prove that he's the guy. So, yeah. 14, the Baltimore Ravens, Trent McDuffie. I love this. I absolutely love this. It's exactly the guy they need. They need a guy that can rotate from the safety position to the nickel corner with Marcus Peters and Marlon Humphrey on the outside. And if you can get a nickel corner to be able to do two things, and that's tackle and cover the slot receiver, that helps their defense tremendously. They got a Dafe away. You know, their defense is really their only question mark coming in the next year. You know that offense is going to be successful with Lamar coming back healthy. So it makes sense. It completely makes sense. However, I would not put it past the Baltimore Ravens to grab a Jordan Davis or Devontae Wyatt. In my mock, I had them drafting Devontae Wyatt. And simply because he's a versatile tackle, a defensive tackle. I think he could be over the nose. He could be a 3-4 lineman, which is essentially a defensive tackle, just over the B gaps. Yeah, he can definitely. I think Devontae Wyatt's a better fit for the Ravens. However, I wouldn't be mad if they just selected Trent McDuffie. Makes sense. Now at 15, the Philadelphia Eagles select Chris Olave. I love this. I just don't see though why it would help them. Right? They already have a small receiving core. Chris Olave, you know, is the guy that you're not going to put on the outside as often. He can do it. He will, and he will be put on the outside. I'm just saying he's not going to play 20, 30 downs a game on the outside. He's going to be moved into the slot a lot. Get him out of press. But you already have like a small guy that plays that role tremendously in Devonta Smith. And you have Jalen Reagor who essentially plays that role. And I think Olave would be a way better Jalen Reagor. Yeah, Quez Watkins, who's not the best either. I love Olave as a receiver. I absolutely love him. I just don't think the Eagles need a guy like that, is what I'm saying. I'm not sure where they should go here. If these first 14 picks occurred, Drake London and Garrett Wilson's kind of off the board. So now you're kind of like stuck as the Eagles. You know, what receiver do we want? And, you know, according to Mel Kiper, they like Olave. New Orleans Saints. This trade that the Eagles made, because the Eagles had the 15th and the 16th, but they traded back to the 18th. But technically they traded ahead from their 19th. So anyway, I feel like the Saints are attacking somebody here, in my opinion, that they think the Chargers might take. That's the only reason why I can see the Saints moving ahead of the Chargers. In this draft, in this pick, he has him selecting Trevor Penning. Makes complete sense. They're gonna be running the ball after losing Aaron Armstead. Correct. They have Ramczyk on the right side, which they might move the left tackle. Who knows? Yeah, and you're just gonna be running the ball a lot. You have Jameis Winston, who is proven he can take care of the ball, especially from last year. So yeah, you run the ball, take care of the ball, and you win football games. That's the formula for them right now. So you pick Trevor Penning, get mean, get nasty, get down in the trenches. I love that pick. I love it so much. However, I like that at 19, because then this leaves the Chargers open for a guy like Jameson Williams, for a guy like Christian Watson, right? And the last thing the league needs is Herbert with another weapon. But in this mock draft, the Chargers say they need a right tackle. So I guess he's saying the Saints move ahead to get Penning over the Chargers, which understandable. I can get that. However, I think it's gonna be a receiver based trade, in my opinion. So he just thinks it's an offensive tackle trade. So me and him had the same mindset. Like, there's a reason the Saints wanted to move to 16, and it's because they thought the Chargers were gonna take one of their guys. So now the Chargers are stuck. I should say stuck with Jordan Davis, but that's not a bad thing. In my mock, I have them taking Jordan Davis too. However, I wouldn't be surprised if they go somewhere else. I mean, especially with Jameson Williams on the board. If you're the Chargers, you take him. But, you know, some people don't see it that way. He has him selected Jordan Davis. I have the Jets taking Jameson at 10. Then the Eagles taking Drake London at 15. But aside from that, yeah, they select Jordan Davis. Now you have Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, and Jordan Davis on the line. You're gonna need all those guys. I mean, you got Russell Wilson, you got Patrick Mahomes, you got Derek Carr. You don't get after the quarterback in that league, it's over, done. Or in that division, you don't get after the quarterback in that division, it's over. Then he has the Eagles selecting Nakobe Dean, inside linebacker at 18. I like this pick. I just don't see the Eagles already given up on Kaiser White and them. And he even says he has Devin Lloyd ahead of his rankings. But I just don't see Nakobe Dean as this versatile every down linebacker. Devin Lloyd might be that guy. He might. However, the linebacker position in this draft is really hard to judge. So I guess Nakobe Dean is your pick. I mean, some people have them picking like Karlaftis or like an edge rusher here. The Eagles are not going to edge rushing. They're just not doing it. They're paying their edge rushers already too much. They're solid there in their eyes. All right, then he has at 19 the New Orleans Saints selected Jameson Williams. Look, Jameson Williams is the dark horse receiver in this draft. I know a lot of people are going to point to Christian Watson, Treylon Burks, even Jahan Dotson. Jameson Williams is a round one guy that I've seen predicted all over. I've seen him at 10. I've seen him at 15. I've seen him at 19. I've seen him at 32. I've seen him at 30. I've seen him at 26. I've seen him at 21. Like it. You're taking chance on a guy who tore his ACL, right? And I think overwhelmingly, the league is moving on from this concerns about tearing your ACL being a career-threatening injury. I think 19 is too far for him. I don't think he falls this far. But if he is here and the Saints have the 19th pick, selecting them is the best option, honestly. And at 20, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Kenny Pickett. Look, the Steelers need a quarterback, but my goodness, why? I just will never understand why the Steelers are mocked to pick a quarterback with the 20th pick. Let me calm down a little bit. Steelers need more help on their offensive line than they need anywhere else. Big Ben was running for his life, and you know him, he can't run. He's out there hobbling for his life. You're putting Mitch Trubisky in that spot, obviously, for this year. So if you're drafting a quarterback at 20, you're telling him, hey, you're gonna sit for a year and learn under Mitch Trubisky. Like, no, now you're adding drama to your team and putting unrealistic expectations on a 20th pick. Like it makes no sense to me. I don't see it, especially Kenny Pickett. Look, I understand people love Kenny Pickett, but he is just a small-handed, less accurate, less arm power than Baker Mayfield. To me, he's just a great value version of Baker Mayfield. He's just not like, no. I hate this pick. I hate this so much. Like, you have all these guys like Devin Lloyd, Christian Watson, Treylon Burks, Arnold Ebiketie, Daxton Hill, Jahan Dotson, Devontae Wyatt, Zion Johnson, Andrew Booth. You know, absolute killers. And you're telling me that they Kenny Pickett. That's the first pick where I can't stand. I don't even want to read the rest of this now. Okay, anyway. Watch Kenny Pickett just come and make me eat my words. I don't care. Anyway. And the Patriots select inside linebacker Devin Lloyd from Utah. That's not a bad pick. That really isn't. They need help everywhere on defense. So I'm not sure why he would think wide receiver. They need help at every level. I'm talking line, linebackers, secondary. I feel like their secondary is getting old, and then with J.C. Jackson gone, you kind of need help in the corner area. But Devin Lloyd, I think that's a great pick. And you know if he's going to the Patriots, he's going to be set up for a while. And at 22, the Green Bay Packers select Christian Watson. I've never seen a receiver go from third round, being selected in the third round as a dark horse receiver, to all of a sudden now selected in the 22nd by one of the premier organizations in the NFL. But hey, I think Christian Watson makes the most sense for the Packers. Out of the remaining receivers that are left, Christian Watson, Treylon Burks, yeah, it makes the most sense. He's already showed a similar build to Marquez Valdez-Scantling, so it's like, we've already picked this guy. Let's pick him again. Christian Watson will learn a lot under Rodgers. I think it'll be great for him. 23, the Arizona Cardinals select Treylon Burks. Okay, he might have made up for his Kenny Pickett at 20. He might have made that. I didn't think of this. This is perfect. They lost Christian Kirk, right? You have James Conner in the backfield. You lost kind of Edmonds, which is part of your run game. I mean, that duo was really good. Treylon Burks can help solve that void. I mean, he can line up anywhere. I compare him to an AJ Brown, but you can hand the ball off to him. Not exactly the best 50-50 skills, high pointing the ball, even though a lot of his highlights are that. He's just a 230-pound beast that corners and safeties don't want to tackle. And to the Cardinals offense, if Kyler Murray plays this year, Arizona just needs to pay him. I mean, who else are they going to go to? But aside from that, different topic. That would be great. I love this, actually. I love this for the Cardinals. He might have made up, I'm willing to scroll through the rest of this. Back to back, Arnold Ebiketie from Penn State to the Dallas Cowboys, replacing DeMarcus Lawrence or Randy Gregory. Did DeMarcus Lawrence? Hold on. Oh. So yeah, Randy Gregory, that's what I meant. Replace Randy Gregory. Perfect. I mean, I can't get over this. That's a great pick. Back to back. He definitely made up. Mel Kiper made up for his Kenny Pickett to the Steelers. I love it. I really do. It's a great replacement for Randy Gregory. He's gonna start day one and help instantly. I know he is a super athlete. The amount of 6'5", not 6'3", not 6'2", not 6'5" edge rushers there are in this draft in the first round alone is ridiculous. And at 25, the Buffalo Bills selected Daxton Hill. See, I love this. And you see, I just moved Hill. Yeah, I think that's kind of like a consensus in the league. I think a lot of people got a hold of Daxton Hill's tape and realized this guy is great. And I could see them Bills selecting Daxton Hill if he's available here. I just personally have the Patriots selecting Daxton Hill at 21. But like, if the Bills have that ability, he can potentially be, a Poirier and Micah Hyde replacement. If that happens, I mean, he can play corner too. I personally, if you're drafting him in the first round, you're sticking him at corner. Honestly, he's that good. And the Tennessee Titans select Jahan Dotson. Yeah, I like this pick. I mean, they need receivers. Like I said, they need to get a fast receiver next to AJ Brown. 100%. The Julio experiment did not work. They have Robert Woods, but I feel like adding a guy like Jahan Dotson, an elite athlete, helps their offense immediately. Takes the pressure off Derrick Henry. I also love the fact that his last name's Dotson. Name is Kevin Dotson. The one that fell a yard short. I love it. All right. At 27, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Devontae Wyatt. I love this. I like this pick. He's expected to fall after some potential like personal issues. I'll sum it up as personal issues that teams have found throughout their I don't want to say investigative. That sounds like he's doing something criminal, but like, I don't know, during their review process, I guess is a way to put it. So I feel like him to 27 would be an absolute steal. Him next to Vita Vea will be a problem. Just to let you know. And at 28, the Packers select Zion Johnson. To me, potentially could be the best guard in the draft. That's it. I mean, that the Packers get potentially the best guard in the draft. That's it. I mean, that's it. 29, the Kansas City Chiefs select Andrew Booth Jr. This is another guy I'm highly high on. My favorite corners in this draft, aside from Stingley and Sauce, where you kind of know, Andrew Booth, Jackson Hill, are essentially, to me, the dark horses of this first round. They're not going to get the amount of press as those other first round picks like Sauce and Stingley. However, I feel like they're going to be just as successful, if not more. And then George Karlaftis sliding all the way to 30. I remember some people had Ravens selecting him at 14. Look, I understand why people like Karlaftis, but personally, I think he needs to pick a side. And what I mean that he's a tweener. He's in between tackle. He's in between edge. So usually they solve those guys by putting them in 3-4, defenses over the guard. But you need unicorns on the outside linebacker positions in order to make this work. The Chiefs don't have that. So I don't see right here an ideal end next to Chris Jones, but I just don't see that. They don't have that outside linebacker that could help, Karlaftis thrive, because he needs that help. He's not going to be a guy that can't be touched off the snap. He is essentially a guy that's going to work through you, and if he can't work through you, he's not going to be useful, and that's literally Karlaftis. So I don't see it. I have Karlaftis sliding out of the first round, but I guess that helps the Chiefs. They got to be a couple duds here in the first round, right? They can't all be perfect. Projected trade. Oh, wow. A center. Oh, Linderbaum. I mean, it makes sense. However, we've put so much help into our line. I'm a Linderbaum believer, though. He's going to be a great center. The Jets, if we get Linderbaum, Kayvon, and Drake London, that's the perfect draft. I love it. I love it. And then Lewis Seen. I've kind of seen this be a consensus 32 pick. I've never seen a 32 pick be consensus. But a lot of people seem to like Lewis Seen to the Lions. Which is why, though, if Lewis Seen does go to Lions at 32, which is why I think at 2, Travon Walker at 2 could be a possibility. Alright, that ends the first round. Second round, Kenyon Green. There's debate between him and Zion being the best guard, but I think it's obviously become Zion. The Jaguars, didn't they get Brandon Scherf? They got Brandon Scherf. Should try to trade this pick. I agree. I 100% agree. Either if they don't try to trade the pick, I guess Kenyon Green's a good pick. Detroit Lions, outside linebacker, David Ajabo. He tore his Achilles, man. And I know the Lions are going to be thinking long term because they're not going to have immediate success. I just don't think at 32 with all the talent available. All right, 34. With all the talent available, David Ajabo is the move here. At the highest, I would spend a 3rd round pick on him. At the lowest, 5th. I mean, I'd go all the way to, obviously he's there in the 7th round. I'm going to take him, but you get my point. And so that leaves the Bengals with the 35th pick, and they select Kaiir Elam. I love Kaiir. I mean, that's the guy you need in the NFL. You know, someone the defensive coordinator just say, hey, you're guarding 12 today, and you're not getting off them. And Kaiir can go out there and do that. He's shown lapses in coverage, but what corner doesn't? Especially when they're playing man on man with the skill level of quarterbacks and receivers this day and age. Again, another one of my dark horses. I think Kaiir, Andrew Booth, and Daxton Hill are going to be day one starters. Yep, right here. It could be a day one starter for. Yeah, exactly. Jalen Petrie to the Giants. I like that. They're gonna release James Bradbury, is what I've seen on Twitter recently. So you need another defensive back body in there. Petrie, very talented, very smart, can stop the run. Good pick. I love it. Houston Texans selected Jaquan Brisker, safety from Penn State. Haven't really looked too much into him. They did let Justin Reed go. Like I said, safety makes sense here. I just don't. It makes sense here, I guess. I probably just need to watch more of Jaquan Brisker. Maybe then I'll probably believe in that pick more. At 38, the Jets select Breece Hall, which seems. I mean, NFL Twitter loves Breece Hall. They're gonna say he's the #1 running back. I've heard some people say that. Who knows? And the Jets haul for this though is insane. I mean, Breece Hall, Tyler Linderbaum, Drake London, and Kayvon Thibodeau. I don't know how drafted that could go any more perfect. I mean, you don't understand how much right here. Yep, which had the way A grade. Exactly. I would be so ecstatic. Oh my god. All right, enough in fantasy land. 39, the Chicago Bears, Kyler Gordon, quarterback from Washington. I've watched Trent McDuffie tape. Loved it. He's insane. Insanely athletic. Like I said, just a bona fide football player. He will do anything for the football team. That's what you need. Kyler Gordon, same thing. If anything, I kind of like Kyler Gordon as a pure corner more. And I think that's going to fly under the radar here. And Chicago getting a steal if they get Kyler at 39. I like this. However, I don't think I see them picking Ritter here. I see Matt Corral, but I like this. I really do. Desmond Ritter to the Seattle Seahawks with the 40th pick from Cincinnati. I mean, I think Ritter is the best day one starter out of the whole quarterback class. And you can call me crazy, but he has the most meaningful games experience out of all these guys. He has the most throwing to a guy like Alec Pierce, he's thrown to an NFL level receiver, unlike any other of these guys. So you have the most, pro comprehensive floor out of all of these quarterbacks. Yeah, his technique needs some work. Yeah. Like I said, he can be a little erratic. I get that. But he's a kid playing college ball I don't want to say it's too easy for him, but he can get locked out of it. In the NFL, you're not going to be allowed to, lock yourself out or zone yourself out. Desmond Ritter, he's going to be. I love this pick. I really do. I love it. 41, the Seattle Seahawks select Quay Walker, linebacker from Georgia. I mean, if this is really their back-to-back picks that the Seattle Seahawks decide to do, you can already call this draft a win. I mean, Quay Walker, very, very sound in his technique. Big guy, fast enough to play sideline to sideline. I think to say he could try to fill the void left by Bobby Wagner is a little much, but he's shown he's a very coachable linebacker. So a coachable linebacker can become an extension of the coach on the field. That's all you need, man. That's great. And another underrated tackle, Bernard Ryman to the Colts. Oh, you give Matt Ryan some time, man. Woo. Bernard Ryman, I think, like I said, he entered the league started his college career as a tight end, so he has great feet. He's huge and fast. There's just that physical tool, the physical tools, like he says, will entice teams. I wouldn't be surprised if Raymond takes a spot of Penning for the Saints, solely because of his physical tools that he possesses and the fact that he has, you know, kind of defies the laws of physics with his body type. And man, he puts it all together. He's gonna be a problem for the league. And 43, the Atlanta Falcons, Boya Mafe, outside linebacker for Minnesota. I love this. Like, for the Falcons in general, if Boya Mafe is available at 43, I have him going to the Cowboys in my mock draft in the first round. So if he's here at 43, my goodness, that is great value and it's so perfect for them. So perfect. Boya Mafe absolutely train wrecked the Senior Bowl. When he played, he had Sam Howell running for his life every single down. If you feel like going back to watch that, you should watch that. Boya Mafe, very underrated edge rusher. 44. Cleveland Browns select Travis Jones, defensive tackle from Connecticut. Look, Travis Jones is a high character guy. Looked at as a leader on that Connecticut defense. Always giving his 100%. He never takes a play off. That's what you need out of a guy in the trenches like that. If the Browns select him at 44, that is, again, a steal. Perfect fit for them. You couldn't ask for anything more if you're the Browns. All right, 45, the Baltimore Ravens, Channing Tindall, a linebacker from Georgia. This is the last of his Georgia defender. This Georgia team is going to be littered. You know what a name I haven't seen yet? We're at 45. Right, he said Georgia defender. He doesn't have George Pickens going in the top 40. Okay, this is what I mean. Like, he has Kenny Pickett. Why does Kenny Pickett? If Kenny Pickett, why is Kenny Pickett being drafted at 20? He has Channing Tindall, the third string linebacker for Georgia, getting drafted before George Pickens. They have Patrick Queen. The Ravens are fine. Some people just have different opinions. Right? Yeah, so Channing Tindall. My hope has been zapped. At 46, Perion Winfrey, defensive tackle from Oklahoma. Exactly. Perion Winfrey, same as Travis Jones. Not exactly like the leader that Travis Jones is, you know, but even-headed, you know, calm successor. Perion Winfrey's that guy that's gonna run through your face over and over and over and over and over. He's out there on the field to take your soul. He ain't out there to play football. So he has a chance to create havoc for Minnesota if he's on there on that defensive line with a Danielle Hunter. I love it. That's a great steal for the Vikings. There we go. There's George. Oh, all right. George Pickens, 47, going to the Washington Commanders. If, again, you're telling me the Ravens at 45 are going to select a third string linebacker from Georgia over George Pickens, when you have Rashad Bateman and Marquise Brown, and that's it. I mean, I love the pick for the Commanders here, but Pickens is not falling to 47, and I will die on that mountain. 48, Chicago Bears, Tyler Smith from Tulsa. Oh, yep. This is that guard. He's an absolute mauler. He's a run blocker day. Like, if the Chicago Bears can get any young bodies on that line, that's a great pick for them. And he has Matt Corral going to the Saints. I don't think Corral's a very tough evaluation. I think he's a smart guy. He can learn anything. Him going to the Saints wouldn't be the worst situation for him. So, makes sense. At 50, Sky Moore, wide receiver, Western Michigan. I like that pick. He's a little bowling ball, man. And he's tough to catch. So, I love it. Sky Moore is a great prospect, I would say. I don't think he's going to have much of an effect day one, but, you know, he could. And at 51, the Philadelphia Eagles draft Drake Jackson. I know. I said the Eagles are not drafting edge. I forgot to elaborate. They're not going to draft him in the first round based on how much they're paying their edge rushers now. So I feel like, you know, second and third round, it makes the most sense to draft, you know, your pass rushers. And going Drake Jackson, I feel like is a good pick. However, I like Kingsley Nagbari here. I'm very high on him. Nick Bonito. But, you know, Drake Jackson, not a bad pick. 52. Oh, I love this. Yep, there we go. John Mechie the third, smart receiver. You look at his tape. When he can seem to sense the zone and get to the open spots, which is a receiver you need in today's NFL. Not a lot of receivers can see the field, you know, be aware of the defense while running their route. Mechie is a smart, fast, strong receiver. I really truly think to say he's Juju Smith-Schuster-esque is kind of a stretch, but he's going to be a consummate professional, capable professional for 10 years. I'm calling it right now. Now, 53, the Green Bay Packers select Alec Pierce. I like it. Alec Pierce did a great job in Cincinnati, especially with those 50-50 balls. He knows how to get his hands to the ball. He's very fast, decently tall. Exactly. Rare physical tools. That's perfect. I love that pick. Don't like this one, especially with Roger McCreary still on the board. The New England select Logan Hall. Look, Logan Hall is a physical freak. He says he might be best suited for the defense. So like he doesn't even know what he plays. Like I watched Logan Hall. He was too slow on the end for Houston and the teams they played. I watched his tape. He's definitely gonna have to be stuck on the inside. But again, he's a tweener. He's just like Karlaftis. You know, 260, 270. Not big enough to where he could throw him over the center, but not small enough you can throw on the edge. So again, in this 3-4 guy, I could see the Patriots selecting him, but he has not. Oh, he's still growing into his frame, so I guess that's a reason, you know, you can stick him on the inside if he's still gaining weight. But I don't see Logan Hall as this guy that you can start day one. And at 55, the Arizona Cardinals select Roger McCreary. I love this. That's so great. The Cardinals have gotten two absolute studs with their 2 picks. I love it. Dallas Cowboys, Abraham Lucas. Washington State. Didn't he play for Michigan State? Oh, yep. I remember now. Yeah, I love this. He's a great pass protector for as big as he is. He can move inside. You're 6'7". You're not moving a guard. But yeah, he is a, I don't want to say dark horse tackle, but like he is another one of those you can start day one. Kenneth Walker III, the Buffalo Bills at 57. I think that's reasonable. However, I don't think the Bills are even looking at running back. They have a trio back there with Josh Allen. I don't think you necessarily need, you know, running backs that is that high of a necessity. The Atlanta Falcons select Troy Anderson. I love this. I love this so much. Troy Anderson going at 58 too. That makes so much sense. He's definitely going in the second round. If the Falcons get a hold of him, that would be a great pick. Majay Sanders from Cincinnati. The Green Bay Packers selected with the 59th pick. Like I said, these edge rushers are gonna be so key in this draft. There's a lot of unicorns. So depending on the situation, they could absolutely be successful. And Cole Strange, Chattanooga, for the 60th pick. It makes sense. I mean, you lost Alex Kappa. You got Ali Marpet retired, so that makes sense. 61, San Francisco 49ers select Cam Taylor-Britt. Have not heard of this guy. What do you have to say? This is the 49ers debut pick in this draft, but this late in this round 2, they're not going to be guaranteed to get a starter. They can take a knee position, sure, but they shouldn't reach to make it happen. Taylor-Britt makes sense because he has some raw tools with which to work and has a skill set to play multiple spots. That's awesome. That they need to add corner depth, but I would like Tolbert there. I feel like Tolbert would be a great pick here for the 49ers. And it's the 62nd pick. The Kansas City Chiefs selected Jalen Tolbert. An absolute steal. Jalen Tolbert is a smart receiver. And he has all the physical tools to defend that up, to or prop up, his intelligence as a receiver. Great leader for his team. I think he's gonna be better than what most people think. Cincinnati Bengals at the 63rd pick select Greg Dulcich. I mean, they need a Uzomah replacement, right? I mean, Dulcich is kind of like the best man frame tight end in the league, or in this year's draft. Dulcich makes the most sense if you're looking for someone that can start day one and make the most out of it, right? Tight ends are generally it takes years to develop a tight end skill set. I mean, they got to do everything. They got to block. They got to run routes. So, the skill gap for tight ends are pretty large. And at 64, the Broncos select Trey McBride. I mean, that makes sense. You need someone next to O. I'm just gonna say O. I'm not even trying to pronounce his last name. And any security blanket for Russell Wilson is a win. So I feel like Trey McBride has the potential to be the best tight end in this year's draft, even over Dulcich. So I like Dulcich's physical tools to start day one. Trey McBride is going to develop into a great tight end. So yeah, there it is. All 64 picks from Mel Kiper's draft. I'd like to hear from you though. What do you think about his mock draft? Was it close? Even close? And what was the craziest pick? To me, it's not even close. It's this one. Like, how do you do that? How do you I can't look at it. I gotta scroll away. But yeah, that was Mel Kiper's draft. That's my reaction. Liked it? Can you like the video, please? You didn't? I don't know. You're still watching the video, I guess.